Hello, we're live on Facebook. Good evening, Philippines. Good afternoon, Middle East, and good morning here in the US. Medyo maulan. Hi sa ating 46 participants. Medyo maingay sa background ko kasi may nagwawalis na robot. Ayun. And so for those guys who are watching on Facebook, hello. And first, I would like to say hi first to my co-admins, Gladys, Marvin, Michelle, and Manuel. And thank you also to Sir Erwin of 9109er for letting him to, to share none other than Jefferson Orito. Hi, so Jeff, welcome back to Iphone G. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I just had a 5 hour coaching speaking
Wow.
earlier.
So
Yeah,
guys, yeah, napakaswerte natin. After 5 hours, meron pa siyang spare na time sa atin. So please send orange heart in our chat box sa Zoom and Facebook and tag your friends to share, to show Sir Jeff our love. Okay, Sir Jeff, I will give you the floor now.
okay, thank you. I will be sharing my screen, no? Because I have a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, wait a second. All right, there you go. Okay, I think everybody can see the presentation. Yes. Okay. All right. Very good. So, okay. So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, good day to everyone. Okay. So, again, my name is Jeff, and this is a 2 hour session. And for our class today, we will be focusing our discussion on, I think, one of the most important parts of the speaking test in the IELTS. No? Well, I think every part is important, although I believe that this part of the speaking test is one of the most important parts, probably the most important, mainly because this is the time in which you're on your own. Okay, and the examiner will not be there in speaking to actually assist you in answering. And for today, we will be discussing the part two of the IELTS speaking test. Okay, so part two, basically the task cards. All right, now let's start. Okay, but before we begin, first, just a quick introduction. So in case there are people here who are still unfamiliar with the speaking examination. So speaking is the fourth subtest in the IELTS, and it is face to face. No, so as you can see in the picture, okay, they're face to face. Although here in the Philippines, because I'm in the Philippines right now, um, I think some test takers here take the exam on the computer. Okay, it's like Zoom, no? But it's still live. Okay, but somehow it is still face to face because the examiner sees you. Okay, sometimes they would change that policy. Okay, but regardless, prepare yourself to face the examiner either online or right in front of you. Okay, now being a face-to-face test, would you consider nonverbal as important in speaking? Yes or no? Nonverbal, I mean let's say your facial expressions, um, your gestures, um, the tone of your voice, your posture, perhaps. Would you consider these things to be also important in speaking? What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you. So that's right. Yes. Okay. So yes, it is. No, although it is not part of the criteria on how you will be graded. Still, okay. It's it's a speaking test. No, it's a communication skill, and in order for you to be able to communicate with this person, with the examiner, okay, you have to express not only your verbal but also your nonverbal messages. Okay, now speaking is divided into three parts, which we'll look into later, and it only lasts for 11 to 15 minutes. Okay, and by the way, the speaking examination is usually scheduled before the written exams. Okay, I remember when I took my IELTS back in 2009. Okay, it's been more than 10 years now. I took my exam under British Council. Now, my written exams were all scheduled on a Saturday from 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, while my speaking test was scheduled 2 days before. So it was on a Thursday. And I remember I was scheduled at 9 o'clock in the morning, from 9 a.m. to 9:15. I don't know which country you're in right now. Okay, but usually your speaking test will be held in the office of British Council or IDP. Okay, whichever you choose as your testing center, there is no difference. No? Everything is standardized between these two testing centers. Now, if you plan to take the computer delivered IELTS, usually the speaking exam is scheduled on the same day of your written exams. Okay. In any case, British Council or IDP will inform you ahead of time, usually a week before, of when your speaking test will be held and where also. All right. So imagine months of practice or perhaps years of practice, your examiner will test your speaking skills in only 15 minutes. So you really have to give it your best shot. Okay. Now, let's talk about the speaking test. Okay. So basically, what happens in speaking? Okay. So as I said earlier, speaking is divided into three parts. Okay. Part one, part two, and part three. Now, on your screen, you are actually seeing here a sample script, no, of an IELTS examiner. Usually, examiners in speaking are scripted. Okay, when I say scripted, I mean they have something like this. They already have like prepared questions and they'll just ask away. Okay, so you have your part one. Okay, so part one, you'll be asked questions about yourself, and then you have part two. Okay, so you're given a topic. Okay, wait a second. Okay, let me just quickly use my pen here. Okay, so this is your part one, no? So you ask questions about yourself. Then this is your part two here. Okay, this is our focus for tonight. So you're given a topic, describe someone you know who started a business, and you'll have to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And then after that, okay, you'll proceed to part three, okay, which is a discussion of your theme or the topic of your task card. Okay, now let's talk about part two. Okay, which is again our focus for our class today. Okay, so part two. Okay, okay, the task cards. No, this is not the way discussion. It lasts for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, and in my experience of coaching, since 2009. Okay, I've been coaching since 2009 when I started at Niner. Um, Actually, earlier, as I mentioned, no, I un- I also had coaching sessions with several people for 5 hours. Now, I've noticed that many people really struggle with the part two of the speaking test. Okay, that is why hopefully our class today will help you, on how to deal with part two. Okay. So in this part of the test, you will be given a task card. Okay, a task card which I just showed you, and I will show you more, containing a topic. Okay. Now, after the examiner gives you a task card, you will be given also a pencil and a paper, to a scratch paper to write down your ideas. Okay, so you can just write anything on that paper. Okay, now what's going to happen? In part two, you will be given exactly 1 minute. Okay, so examiners have a timer with them. So you're given 1 minute to prepare. Okay, so it's during this 1 minute, where you can write down anything, no, that you would like on that paper that is given to you. Okay, after 1 minute is finished, the examiner will ask you to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. So at least 1 minute, at most 2 minutes. Okay. Some examiners would get your task card, the task card from you. Okay, while others will just, you know, let you have the task card for the entire part two. Okay. I believe nowadays, it depends on the examiner, but most of the time I think they just leave you with the task card. However, the scratch paper, you will always have it with you. Okay, so they won't get that from you. Okay, so after your speech, no, for 1 to 2 minutes, the examiner will ask you 1 to 2 round of questions about your response. Okay, so something that is not totally scripted. So they would probably just ask a bit of clarification on, or a follow-up question on what you have said. Okay, now, what are the common topics in part two in the task card? Well, let me tell you, there are a number of topics in part two. Okay. In fact, at Niner, I believe we have this handout that contains more than 100 uh, task cards for part two. Because what we did, no, when we started as a review center, was we collated, no, part two task cards that were given to students. Okay, so we have this handout that contains all these task cards. Now, the good news about task cards in part two is that the task cards are reused. Okay, um, I can say that because I have known a lot of students who have already taken the test, and they told me that, sir, you know what, the task card that I got in my exam was the same task card that I encountered during my coaching session or during the lecture. Okay, which means that the more task cards, no, that you answer, you experience, do you follow? The more chances of winning. I'm just kidding. The more chances of getting that same task card. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. So ano ba yung mga usual topics ng part 2? Okay, part 2 is still personal, no? Because it is in part 3 where everything gets more general, more global. So in part 2, you can be asked, for example, about your personal experiences. Okay, for example, talk about the last time you were late. Okay, talk about the last time you helped someone. Okay, talk about your childhood talk about your most memorable childhood experience, yung mga ganyan. You can also be asked about people and the relationships. Sample questions talk about a famous person you know, talk about an old person you know, talk about a person you admire. Yan, mga ganyan. Talk about a celebrity that you admire. Okay, talk about your favorite singer. Okay, things like that. Events. Okay, well, it's possible that you could be given a task card that says talk about a recent event that you attended outside the city, or maybe you could be asked talk about an event that you were late, okay, or talk about an event that you uh, attended with friends, okay, things like that. um, Favorites, yeah, talk about your favorite animal, talk about your favorite book, talk about your favorite color. Okay, now the reason I'm actually, trying to discuss this one by one is that one of the most common mistakes, no, of examinees in speaking in part two is that they do not familiarize themselves with these possible questions. Okay? And kung kailan pa exam nila, no? Kung kailan pa mag-exam na sila, kailan nasa harap na sila ng examiner, doon pa lang nila iisipin kung ano ang favorite color nila. My goodness. Okay? And thing is, ngayon pa lang, no? Mag-decide ka na. Okay? Mag-isip ka na. Ano ang favorite book mo? Ano ang favorite color mo? Okay, kailangan mabilis po tayo mag-isip sa part 2. Remember, you're only given 1 minute to prepare. And in my experience, no, yung 1 minute na yan, nabablanko ang mga examinees. Okay? Either nabablank sila, hindi sila makaisip ng gusto nilang favorite color nila, or sa dami ng favorite colors nila, hindi sila maka-decide which one to talk about. Okay? So, my suggestion to make your part 2 easier, familiarize yourselves with, the task cards. Okay? Parang, and actually, when you go online and then you just write IELTS speaking part 2 task cards, you'll be able to see a lot of task cards in the IELTS. Okay, and again, there is a chance that you would get the same task card in your actual IELTS test. Okay, talk about. Okay, do you follow? Are you still with me? Okay, sorry, because I can't see you. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Clothing, no? Pwede din yan. Talk about your favorite fashion sense. Okay. Talk about your favorite type of fabric. Ay, mga ganyan, no? So, minsan, di ba, at the top of our head, hindi natin alam kung ano yung isasagot. Okay, kaya again, now that you have the time for these things, no, to decide, mag-decide ka na. Okay? The examiner does not care, okay, kung ano ang favorite book mo. Okay? What he cares about is how quick you think and how you will be able to deliver your answer. Okay? Arts then, yeah. Minsan, I remember there was one time I gave this task card, talk about a famous painting. Okay. And this student couldn't even think of a famous painting. Okay. In that 1 minute. Okay. So what happened was she wasn't able to say anything at all in the 2 minutes. Okay. But if you come to think of it, there are actually a lot of famous paintings. Now, if you're in the Philippines, there's this Poliario, the National Museum, right? Okay. But even if you're not into the arts, but I'm a very artistic person. I love painting. I love the arts in general. So I know a lot of paintings, no? So again, now that you have time to research, do so. Okay, health, no? You could also be asked about now. Talk about a public hospital that you know, mga ganyan. Building, talk about an unusual building that you have seen. Plants, talk about your favorite plant. Talk about your favorite animal. Okay, talk about a person that you know who has a pet. Okay, sports, talk about your favorite sports. Okay, talk about your job. Okay, your responsibilities. Talk about your favorite type of weather. Media, talk about your favorite type of newspaper, talk about the news that you've read recently. The internet, talk about your favorite website. Okay. Music, talk about your favorite type of music. Yan. Talk about a country, a problem in your country. Mga ganyan. Tourism. Talk about a tourist spot in your hometown. Okay, sir, ang dami. This is so overwhelming. Are you overwhelmed? Okay, well, it might be, at first, because you see there are actually a lot of topics. But um, it comes with time. I think the more that you spend time on practicing, on dealing with these task cards, the more confident you will be. I can assure you that. Okay. And it's just all about setting your priorities in life. Okay. So I suggest you find time to really practice these things. You'll get there. Believe me, you will. Okay. But some people it takes time. Okay. It depends on your learning skill. Transportation, talk about your favorite mode of transportation. Leisure activities, you could be asked here, talk about your favorite hobby. Photograph, talk about a photo that you have taken recently. Environment, you could be asked, talk about the pollution in your hometown, ganyan. Talk about your favorite tree. Marriage, ayan. Talk about a person that you know who is married. Ayan. Talk about a wedding event that you attended. Technology, talk about a technological device that you use for the first time. Talk about um, as an application that you always use, mga ganyan, no? Daily routine, okay, talk about what you do in the morning, in the afternoon, talk about your sleeping habits. Food and cooking, talk about your favorite food, of course, talk about a foreign delicacy that you enjoy, talk about your favorite restaurant, okay, so things like that, okay? In my experience of teaching, and coaching also, one-on-one. Um, Usually a student would need somewhere around maybe 5 to 10 coaching sessions in speaking before they can really, get used to it, if you know what I mean. Okay. Because usually mga first timers, second timers, nangangapa yan eh. Even though nakapag-attend na sila ng lecture, they know what to expect most of the time. They really struggle with what's happening. Okay. And it's really immersion, that will give you the confidence boost that you will need for your entire speaking exam. Okay. Now, let's look at this sample part 2. Okay, so on topic is describe something you own, which is very important to you. Okay, so you see, there you have a topic here. Now, let me tell you that for every task card, there will be bullet points. Okay, so ang bullet points niyan, minsan tatlo, most of the time, apat ang bullet points. Okay? So itong bullet points na ito po, these are simply guides. Okay, kumbaga, suggestion po sila. Okay? Suggestion. The PowerPoint is still on page 1. Is it still on page 1? Oh. Why? Why is that? Okay. How about now? Oh my goodness. How about no one told me. I wonder what happened. How about now? Can you see the script? Okay. Okay. What page was that? This page? Oh my goodness. It didn't move. Okay. How come you could follow? Okay. All right. Have you seen this part? Yes. Okay. All right. So anyway, this was the topic I was talking. This was what I was just recently talking about. Okay. All right. So common topics in part two. Thank you for say to someone, no, who mentioned that here's the okay because I don't know. Anyway. Okay. All right. Are we all good? You can still see this one, common topics in part two. Okay. Yeah. You can take screenshots if you like. Mhm. Okay. Now I'm now have moved on to the next slide. Okay. Do you see the next slide? The one with the task card? Yung describe something you own. Okay, thank you. All right. Hopefully there won't be any more problem there. Okay. Now, as I was saying, task card. Okay, you're given a task card. Sir, how many task cards will I be given? Just one. Okay, just one. Okay, lucky, no? Okay, so you will only be given one task card. Okay, in this case, the examiner has chosen describe something you own, which is very important to you. Okay, you should say, tas may makikita kang bullet points. Okay, so as I said, ang bullets pwedeng tatlo, pwedeng apat. You should say where you got it from, how long you have had it, what you use it for, and explain why it is important to you. Okay. Now, okay. Sir, okay, kasi this is a very common question. But anyway, I will still address more questions later, no? Sir, yung bullet points po na yan, do I need to answer them all? What do you think? Do you need to answer them all? Yes or no? What's your take on that? Do you need, is it necessary to answer them all? Okay, the answer is no. Okay? The answer is no. Bakit po siya no? Kasi should lang, you know? Hindi naman niya sinabi, you must say. Okay? So, advice lang yan. Now, having said that, still, no? I advise you, I strongly recommend you to answer them. Okay? Kasi itong bullets po na ito po yung magpapa-expound, no? Sa inyong sagot. Are we clear? Okay, they're not completely necessary, like a must, but ideally you include them. Again, suggestion, no? Should. Okay. Now I'll be playing the okay, oh wait. The audio for that. Okay. Wait lang ha. Can you hear this one? Wait lang.
All right. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay, can you hear that? Okay, sige. Very good. Thank you, Fatima, for responding. You still see the slide, no? The presentation. Okay, thank you. Minsan di ko alam kung ano yung yes. Okay, baka yung yes na yan yung kanina ko pang tanong. I'm just kidding. Okay. Sige. Okay, sige. Okay, so just look at the okay, let's listen to this sample answer muna, ha? Okay. All right. So I'll play yung script naman no nasa slide natin. Okay. All right. So I'll play it now. So just follow.
Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Yes. One of the most important things I have is my piano, because I like playing the piano. I got it from my parents to my 12th birthday. So I have it for about 9 years. And the reason why it is so important for me is that I can go into another world when I am playing piano. I can forget what's around me and what I can forget my problems, and this is sometimes quite good for a few minutes, or I can play to relax, or just yes um, to relax and to think of something completely different.
Thank you. Would it be easy to replace this piano?
Yes, I think it wouldn't be that big problem, but I like my piano as it is because I have it from my parents. It's some kind unique for me.
Okay. All right. Were you able to listen to that completely? Okay, very good. Okay. So, what's your assessment? If you were to grade this examinee, 9 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, what would you give him? What do you think? What score do you think this person deserves just for this part 2? 6? Oh no, you're so generous. Fatima, 7. Wow. I wish everyone's examiner is like Fatima. Very generous. Okay. Well, okay. If I were to score this, no? Based on the everything that was said. Typo. Okay, fine. I would give this maybe a 5 to a 5.5. Okay. So it was a 5 to 5.5. Okay. Why? Why 5 to 5.5, sir? Okay. Well, first of all, let's look at the criteria on how you will be graded in speaking. Not just part 2 for the entire speaking test. Okay. So fluency and coherence. Was the person fluent? Yes or no? Was he fluent? Okay, no. Okay, there were no, it wasn't fluent. There were a lot of pauses. Okay, the person was struggling with constructing his sentences. Okay, and that is obviously a markdown against your fluency. With regard to coherence, ano ibig sabihin ba, sir, ng coherence? Pag sinabing coherence, ibig sabihin organized, no? Yung iyong answer. Organized. Okay? And okay. And walang paulit-ulit. And if you notice, sabi niya dito, I want to relax, I can play to relax. So, may mga inuulit siya. Minsan, hindi niya masyadong na-discuss. Okay. And again, no? So, that will get you a very low score. So, most likely, the fluency of this person here is a 5. Fluency lang yon. Okay? Vocabulary. Okay, ano naman ibig sabihin ng vocabulary? Of course, yung choice of words, synonyms. And if you are targeting a 7 in speaking, meron po ba dito 7 minimum na speaking? 7. Sa class natin, meron po ba? Okay, si Christine. Okay, yes. Aha. US most likely? Okay. Let me tell you, para po, no? Mataas ang score mo sa vocab, sa speaking, ito po ang sekreto dyan, idiomatic expression. Okay, so yes, you heard me. Idiomatic expression. Okay, all right. No, so gamit ka at least once or twice for the entire speaking test. Kung kaya mo siyang isingit sa part 2 mo, go. Okay? Ayan, no? Are you familiar sa mga idiomatic expressions? Okay. Ayan. Cat got his tongue. Yes, that is true. Okay. Mga ganyan, no? Okay. So anyway, there's a different discussion, but idiomatic expressions. Na very, I got it, sabi niya, I got it from my parents to my 12th birthday. So, yeah, minsan nakakalito, no? Pag mga ganyan, yung mga words na ginagamit. Okay, it is good for a few minutes, no? I think good is a vague word. Okay, so, okay. What is good? What is bad? So maybe you could be uh, more specific about it. Okay. Uh, okay. I forget my problem. You can actually say here, I'm on cloud 9. Would you say? Would you think that would improve his vocabulary? If it says, whenever I play piano, I feel like I'm on cloud 9. Yeah? Okay. Or ano pa bang pwede? I'm over the moon. Have you heard of that expression? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Well done. Okay. So vocab niya, again, no, may mga dot, mga pauses kasi yan. So, makikita mo yung struggle talaga niya, no, in answering. So, with regard to this, I'll give this person maybe a 5 to 6. No? 5 being the lowest, 6 being the highest, kung generous yung examiner. Grammar. Okay, so of course, grammar will be assessed also for the entire speaking test. Now, if you look at, okay, if you go back to uh, the person's response here. One of the most important things I have is my piano because I like playing piano. Okay. I got it from to my 12 yata dapat yan, no? So I have it for about 9 years. Okay, dapat ito present perfect tense. I have had it for 9 years if I were to correct that. Okay, present perfect tense is the tense that we use for an action, no, that that started in the past and continues in the present. And the reason why it is so important for me is that I can go into another world when I play piano. Dapat ito simple present, no, not present progressive. Okay, kinagamit lang po natin ang present progressive tense if the action is happening right now at the moment. Okay, and that is wrongly used. I can forget what's around me and what. Okay, this was not completed. I can forget this is sometimes quite good. Okay, or I can play to relax, or just yes, to relax and to think of something completely different. Okay, so yeah. Ang grammar po sa speaking, it's not just about yung tamang gamit ng nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, no? It's also about yung sentence structures. Okay? And I highly encourage you to use different sentence structures. Simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Okay? That will improve your score in grammar. And finally, pronunciation. Now, with regard to pronunciation, I wouldn't really say that okay, so grammar niya 5. I'll give this person a 5. Pronunciation niya, I think, hindi naman niya na masyadong nag-mispronounce ng words, no? Unlike in my experience, no, ang daming estudyante talagang Philippines, and I love fork adobo. I love going to the beach because I want a beach body. Yung mga ganyan na pronunciation. So I think wala naman siyang ganyang klaseng problem. Although pronunciation in speaking is not just the vowels and the consonants, but also the delivery. Okay. And his manner of delivery, he wasn't confident, he was hesitant, yes. And there were a lot of pauses also, which is again about fluency. And he was just basically not really sure of what he was talking about. Okay. But for this one, I'll give him a 6. Okay. That's why I said 5 to 5.5 would be the score of this test taker. Okay. Pero take note ha, part 2 lang yon. Okay. In the Ielts exam, you will be graded for the entire, no? Part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay. Pero part 2, I'll give that guy a 5 to a 5.5. Okay. Now, okay. Have I moved on to the next slide? Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, very good. Okay. Now, what are the common questions in part 2? Not by the examiner, by the examinee. Okay, students. Can I choose the topic of the task card? Yes or no? Can you choose the topic? Okay, pwede mo bang sabihin, sir, I'm a nurse. Okay, come on. Give me a task card about hypertension. Can you do that? No, you cannot. Okay, you cannot choose the topic. Okay, sir, what if okay, so what if I don't have any idea about the chosen task card? What do you do? What if you don't have any idea? What do you do? Any guess? Because you cannot choose the topic. So what if you don't have any idea? Okay, apologize. Okay, interesting. Apologize and go out of the room. Yon. And prepare another 11,000 pesos. I'm just kidding. Yes. Try to uh, invent a story. Yeah. Okay. And honestly, ganito po yan. Let me explain. Ang mga task cards po, personal questions naman. Okay. So it's very unlikely that you will be given a task card na hindi mo totally alam. Okay? Possible na wala kang maisip at that time. Okay? Pero given enough time, marirealize mo, ay may alam pala ako. Okay? So again, ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina pa na as early as you can, mag-prepare ka na ng mga answers mo for these possible questions. Okay? Steal friend stories. Oh, okay. Thank you. Interesting. Okay? So yan, no? Worst comes to worst, mag-invento ka na lang. Okay, the last thing you wanna happen is sabihin mo sa examiner mo, palitan yung task card. Okay, that is just so disappointing, no? On the end of the examiner. All right? Okay. Number 2, do I need to talk for 2 minutes? Yes or no? Kailangan ba, sir, 2 minutes talaga? Okay, ideally, yes. Ideally. Okay? Pansinin mo kanina, tapos na yung test taker. Okay, yung plinay ko, no? And, di ba, pansinin mo, medyo tahimik pa yung examiner. Okay, talagang inubos niya yung 2 minutes. So, uubusin niya yung 2 minutes. Okay? Yung examiner naman will let you know kapag na-reach mo na yung 2-minute mark. Okay, again, may timer po sila. No? Itong mga IELTS examiners. Okay, of course, kung kailangan nyo po ay 7 sa speaking, suggestion ko po, practicein nyo yung 2 minutes na yan. In my experience, problema ang 2 minutes for most people, usually mga first timer, second timer. Okay, pero sa nararanasan ko na, no, sa coaching, yung mga pang-5 na nila, pang-6 na, hindi na nila problema yung pahabain yung sagot nila. Okay, but initially, it could be a problem. Okay, so perhaps what you can do, you know, on your own, pwede din naman, although wala na magko-correct sa'yo, is practice to talk for 2 minutes. Yung mapahaba mo yung sagot mo, time yourself. Yeah, that is something that you can do. No? Even if you are on your own. Can I give more than one answer? Yes or no? Ano ibig sabihin yan, sir? Wait na. Okay. Let's say, ito ang top. Di ba ito yung binigay sa kanya? Describe something you own which is very important to you. So, ang sinabi niya, yung piano. Okay. Pwede ba siya magdagdag? Sabi niya, I like the piano. Okay, I have a piano. It's important to me. Blah, 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 blah. In addition, sabi niya ganon, another important object that I own is the diary of Mara Clara. Ay, nasa kanya yung diary ni Mara Clara. Okay, the diary. Okay, pwede mo bang idagdag yon? Yes or no? Okay, so yun po kasi ang question eh. No. No. Can I give more than one answer? Yes or no? Okay, or sige, hindi na diary, necklace na lang. Sinabi niya, and another important thing that I own is the necklace. Ganyan. Pwede po ba? Yes or no? Yes, but that will get you a low score. Okay, that won't get you a 7. Let me explain. Okay. Ang topic, describe something you own which is very important to you. So may tanong ako, kapag nagbigay ka ng dalawa, are you actually understanding the question? Yes or no? Pag nagbigay ka ng dalawang sagot, are you understanding the topic? Yes or no? Okay. No, you're not. Okay? Isa lang. Okay? Describe a person you admire. Minsan, ako, mga estudyante talaga. Person you admire, bibigyan ako 3. Di ba? Kamusta naman ate? Okay. Alright. Isa lang. Okay, ang point kasi ng part 2, no, is meron kang isang main topic, tas mapahaba mo siya, ma-elaborate mo siya. Nagets niyo po ba? So ngayon, kung bibigyan mo ako ng sandamakmak na important things that you own, aba, talagang aabutin ka ng 2 minutes dyan. Ang tanong, may explain mo ba lahat yan in 2 minutes? No. Okay? So ang point niya is meron kang isang main topic, mapadami mo siya. Okay? Are we clear? Nagets po ba? Okay. So pwede, but I won't suggest it. Okay? Yan. Alright. Unless 4 lang ang kailangan. May 4 lang ba dito ang kailangan sa Ielts? 4. 4.5. Yung mga ganyan. Meron po ba in the class? Okay. Wala? 7. Ay. Si MJ, 5.5. Saan ka, MJ? Canada? Oh. Okay. Ano pang ginagawa mo dito? Mag-exam ka na. My goodness. Ang dali-dali lang ng 5.5. Alam niyo po, bukas na bukas mag-exam na ako kung 5.5 ang kailangan. Okay. I'm just kidding. Practice pa daw, no? Okay. Pero madali lang ang 5.5. Ay, exam na sa Friday. Good luck po, ha? Sige, kaya mo yan. Madali lang ang 5.5. Okay, kinakabahan. Naku, ma'am, iinom niyo lang yan. Nakainom na ba kayo? Ano ka ba, ma'am o sir? Sorry, hindi ko kasi ma-realize kung MJ. Pwede kasing Michael Jackson yan or Mary Jane. Hindi ka umiinom. O di ano ka ba, nurse? Ma'am? Caregiver. Ano ba? Usually caregiver pag 5.5. Siguro naman may access ka sa mga drugs sa hospital. Ayan, sige. Mag-inject ka, no? Inom ka ng ng mga depressants. Mga ganun. Di ba? Tignan natin kung kabahan ka pa. Okay. Pero anyway, good luck po. 5.5. Just ko. Ipasam nyo na yan. Okay. Now, pag 5.5, ito, magbigay ka 5. 5 sagot sa part 2. Clear po ba? I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me. Okay. Isa pa rin. Ha? Okay. Para may mas malaki yung chance mo no, na mataas ang makuha mong score. Okay. Another question. Should I limit my answers to the bullet points? Yes or no? 1 shot of vodka. Pwede naman, ma'am. Ma'am Sunshine. Sunshine, just go. Pangalan pa lang. Alam ko ng maliwanag. Yes po. Pwede. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to our topic kasi mag 10 o'clock na pala in the Philippines. Should I limit my answers to the bullet points? Yes or no? Di ba may 4 bullet points? Balikan ko lang yung example natin kanina. Ito yung where, how long, what do you use, why is it important? Okay. Should I limit? Answer, no. Okay? No. Okay? Again, pwedeng hindi mo to sagutin, itong 4 na to, but ideally, I personally strongly recommend na sagutin mo siya. In addition, don't limit yourself to the bullet points. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun, sir? Pwede ka magdagdag ng information as long as related siya doon sa main topic mo. No? Something you own that is important. Clear? Basta relevant siya. Okay? So, pwede kang nagdagdag. Yan. Alright? Okay. Mamaya tuturuan po kita kung paano magsagot ng part 2. Okay. Alright. Now, pero you don't need to limit yourself. Now, can I go off topic? Pwede po ba? My goodness, this is a brainless question. Can I go off topic? Yes or no? Okay, obviously no. Okay, you cannot go off topic. Now, the reason why I mentioned this, no, kasi may ibang estudyante, hindi iniintindi yung task card. Okay, as in, no? May iba na ang gagawin nila, okay, bigyan kita ng example gagawin nila, sabihin nila ganito, no? Unless ito yung topic, something you own. Sabi nila, something that I own is my cell phone. This cell phone I've had this since last year. I bought it from the mall and it's very useful to me. Ganyan, no? Pero hindi nila na-mention na it's very important to them. Okay, so nag-describe lang sila ng something that they own. Okay, and that is off topic. Yeah, off topic na yun. Minsan naman, may mga estudyante, nasasabihin nila, something that I own that is very important to me is my wedding ring. This wedding ring reminds me of the love that I have. And I believe that love is blind and lovers cannot see the follies that they make. They say that true love is kind. It is fair. Aba? Lahat ng love quotes, no? Nilabas mo na. Yeah, yung mga bala mo yan. Okay? Minsan may mga ganon. Yung mga off-topic na lang sila bigla. Okay? Or describe something that you own that is important. Sabi ng estudyante, well, something that I own that is important to me is my bicycle. I've been using this bicycle to go to places if I don't want to drive a car. And I remember when I was a child, I started to learn how to ride the bicycle because it was my parents who gave them that bicycle to me. This bicycle, I remember when I was a child, I had difficulty uh, riding it. But I think that children at a very early age should start to learn how to ride the bicycle because I believe that the children are our future. Teach them well and, well, let them lead the way and just show them all the beauty that they possess inside. And I would suggest to give them a sense of pride to make it easier and let the children's laughter. Oh, di ba? Kala, no, nakikinig ako dun sa estudyante, kala ko, ang galing. Tapos na-realize ko na parang kanta to. Yung gano'n. Na off topic na siya. Yung nadala ako. Yung gano'n. Okay. Tapos tinapos pa niya yan, sabi niya, and I believe that kids can tell. Oh, di ba? Tender, juicy. We don't want, honestly, we don't want memorize statements. Okay? Number one, okay, kasi pag memorized na siya, parang it's not your vocabulary, you won't be given points for that. And most of all, we don't want that you go tangential, yes, no, to the topic. Okay, always make your answers relevant to the actual topic. Okay, can I say I don't have any idea about the topic? Okay, I think we answered this earlier. And again, the answer to this question is no. Okay, this is part 2. Okay, this is the task card. No? In part 3, pwede pa yan. Okay, but I wouldn't recommend saying no, I don't have any idea pagdating sa task card. Okay? So again, no, task cards kasi yung topics niyan, familiar questions yan. Familiar meaning everybody basically knows the answer to these questions. Okay, it's just a matter of choosing your own answer. Okay, so try not to say you don't have. Now, another question. Remember, sabi ko kanina, you will be given a paper and a pen, no, for scratch. Can I not write anything on the scratch paper? Yes or no? Can I not write anything? Pwede bang hindi ko sulatan, sir? Parang gusto ko siyang iuwi na malinis. Parang remembrance, ganon. Sa Ielts exam ko. Pwede ba? Okay. Well, yes, pwede naman. Pwede mo nyo naman siyang hindi sulatan. Okay, pero kasi kapag hindi ka nagsulat, no, sa scratch paper, parang kung ako examiner mo, no, tapos nakita kita, wala kang sinusulat or anything, parang iisipin ko na hindi ka prepared, no, or wala ka man, or I would say wala kang preparation. Okay? So, sulatan mo. Okay? Kahit ano lang. No? Mag-drawing ka kung gusto mo. Basta sulatan mo siya. Make the examiner feel, no, na nagpe-prepare ka talaga for your response. Okay. Remember, 1 minute yun. Okay. So, syempre, ayaw mo naman na 1 minute nakatunganga ka lang, di ba? Nakatitig ka lang, no? Sa blank sheet of paper. Now, another question. Can I look at the scratch paper as I speak? Okay. And I think I mentioned this earlier already. And again, the answer is yes. Okay. So, yung scratch paper nasa iyo po yan. Okay. You can glance. I don't suggest, staring at your scratch paper. Okay. Maganda pa din na you establish eye contact as much as you can. Still, no, you have the scratch paper to just glance at it and see your points, no, or what you want to answer to the examiner. Okay. Should I continue speaking if the examiner remains quiet? Okay. What do you mean, sir? Let's say tapos ka na. Okay, nasabi mo na yung lahat ng sabihin mo. Okay, sabi mo, and yes, that is the greatest love of all. Ganon. Tapos, yung examiner mo, tahimik pa na. Should you continue speaking? Yes or no? Should you? Okay. Yes. Okay. You should continue speaking. Okay. Ibig sabihin po kasi niyan, kapag tahimik pa si examiner, ibig sabihin niyan, dalawa lang yan, no? Either hindi mo pa na-reach yung 2 minutes, okay? So gusto pa niya magsalita ka, or nakatulog na siya. Okay? Kasi ang boring mo. Ayan. Nangyari na sa akin yan. No? Yung nagpa-part 2 yung estudyante. Nakaloka. Okay, tas napikit lang yung mata ko. Tas wala. Inantok ako eh. Di ba? Sabi ko, ma'am, nakakaantok yung sagot mo. Kumanta ka ba ng lalabay? Sabi ko sa kanya gano'n. Okay? Pero obviously, in the Ielts exam, most likely may tulog naman itong mga examiners natin. So kung tahimik pa rin siya, ibig sabihin, you haven't reached 2 minutes yet. So continue speaking. Okay. Don't worry. Kasi with enough practice, magigauge mo naman kung medyo 2 minutes ka na nagsasalita or hindi pa. Okay. Actually, mas okay na mag-exceed ka ng 2 minutes. Okay, versus you fall short, no, of the 2-minute mark. Now, sir, sabi mo mas okay na mag-exceed ako ng 2 minutes. Now, another question, should I stop when the examiner interrupts me? Should I stop when the examiner interrupts me? Yes or no? Okay, yes, of course you should. You should. Okay, sabi mo, wait, I still have something to say. Sabi mo gano'n. Tinakpan mo yung bibig niya. Okay, no. Yeah, you should stop. Okay, you must stop. Okay, ibig sabihin you have already reached your 2-minute mark and the examiner wants to move on to the next part of the test. Okay? Depende naman sa examiners. May occasions before na pag alam ko na parang patapos na yung estudyante sa part 2 niya and 2 minutes na, no? Minsan I let the examinee finish the sentence, no? Okay. Pero most of the time, kapag na-reach mo na yung 2 minutes, talagang they will abruptly stop you. Well, not abruptly though, but 2-minute mark, no? They will stop you there. So stop talking. Okay? So that's it. Don't feel bad, okay, if you are stopped. Okay, there is nothing wrong with that. Actually, uso yan, no? Sa speaking exam. Examiner interrupting you. Lalo na kung marami kang sumagot. Okay. Okay, are you still with me? Kaya pa ba? Okay. All right. Okay, very good. Okay, so now, okay, we're halfway through. Okay, now here is another sample task card. Okay, so ang topic is name your favorite story when you were still a child. Okay, all right. So may bullets, no? So I remember ang bullets, minsan 3, most of the time 4. What the story was about, what was the moral of the story, and why was it your favorite? Okay. Now, right now, can you think of a favorite story? What's your favorite story when you were still a child? Anyone who would like to share? Ano ba yung mga favorite stories mo nung bata ka? One tamad. Okay. Siguro mas maganda English, no? I don't know. Madami namang choices. Rapunzel. Okay. Yan. Okay, David and Goliath. Yes, pwede yan, no? Okay, I remember when I was a child, I used to collect these small booklets from Nido. Do you remember that? I don't know kung naabutan. Am I too old? No, I'm still young, I think. So yung Nido kasi nun, sa likod niya, if you remember, meron siyang mga, oh, you still have that. Meron siyang mga parang fairy tales, mga ganyan, no? Although I don't drink milk kasi na powdered. Okay. Pero I think binibili lang namin yon kasi, well, someone else maybe. Pero ako, I was after those booklets, no? Okay. All right. So, Three Little Pigs, yan. Pwede din yan. Okay. In fact, Hana, okay, ang makikita natin dito na sagot ay Three Little Pig. Three Little Pigs. Okay, yeah. So, again, wala naman pong tama or maling sagot dito, no? Okay. Now, let's look at the sample answer here. Okay. Okay, babasahin ko siya. Okay, so sabi niya, well, okay, so sabi ng examiner, okay, so remember you have up to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. Can you begin speaking now, please? Sabi ng examinee. Okay, well, my mother used to tell me a lot of stories and fairy tales when I was young. Of all those narratives, the one I cannot forget is the story of the Three Little Pigs. This tale is about the pigs who are brothers, and they went out to the forest to live on their own. Momentarily, they decided to live separately from each other. To have a shelter of their own, they decided to build their own houses. Because of laziness, the first pig built his house out of straw, while the second one made a house out of sticks. The third and youngest pig wanted to have a sturdy house, so he decided to build his house using bricks. Even if it took him quite some time to build his house, he still decided to pursue his plan. When all three had finished their houses, a surprise enemy came to visit them. The big bad wolf was out to hunt them. The wolf first visited the first pig. Thinking he was safe inside his house, the pig didn't mind. But when the wolf blew the pig's house, the pig was in despair and immediately rushed to the second pig's house. The wolf did the same thing to the second pig's house. So they rushed to the brick house of the third pig. Since the wolf cannot blow the house down, he decided to climb the chimney to enter the house. But the youngest pig was clever, and in anticipation, he placed a large pot of boiling water beneath the chimney. When the wolf came in, he fell right down to the boiling water and died. The story tells us that we should not settle for the easier way out, and that this is why my favorite. The best option should always be considered, no matter what the cost of achieving it, since this is the best option there is. This story is something that I will always remember. Yeah. Okay, so basically sinagot lang naman niya, no, yung mga yung bullet points, no, dun sa what was the story, what's the moral, and why was it your favorite. Okay, now, I don't know. I think that took more than 2 minutes. My question is this. Can you do this on your scratch paper in 1 minute? Yung ganito eh. As in, isusulat mo to lahat. Can you? Yes or no? Let's say, sabi niya, okay, you're 1 minute to prepare. Tapos yan, sinulat mo. My mother used to tell me blah, 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 blah. Okay, can you do that? Yes or no? What's the answer? Yes. Yes, you can. Okay, if only you believe. I'm just kidding. Okay, you cannot. Okay, you cannot. All right. So, what do? You just simply write keywords. Okay, so now I will teach you how to properly organize your answer. Okay, now let's look at another sample pass card here. Okay, so this time, recall a gift you have received when you were a child. Okay. Recall a gift you received when you were still a child. Okay. So ang bullets, what the gift was, who gave it to you, when did you receive it, how did you feel about the gift? Okay. So anong gagawin ko, sir? Minsan kasi hindi ko alam, pag nakuha ko na yung task card, I don't know what to do. Anong pong isusulat ko sa scratch paper? Okay. I will teach you. Okay, so let's say ito po yung scratch paper natin. So drawing na yung scratch paper, no? Okay, do you see the slide? Nakaka-follow pa ba? Okay, nagdo-drawing ako ng scratch paper, no? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Alright, so ito yung scratch paper natin. Anong gagawin mo doon sa 1 minute? Okay, simple lang. Okay, the first thing you have to do, itong scratch paper mo, no? You draw a cross. Okay? Mag-drawing ka ng cross. Ayan. Simple lang. Simpleng cross lang. Okay. Then, what's the next step? You pray. Okay? So, ayun. Pray ka lang. 1 minute. Sabi mo, sana po may masabi ako after this 1 minute. Ayun. Tapos, voila. Alam mo, as in, like, it's like a miracle na after 1 minute, parang boom, ang dami mo nang masasabi. Okay. But only if your faith is strong enough. If you believe. Okay? Sir, hindi ako believer. O, I'll give you another option. Okay. So, ang gagawin mo, kung hindi ka believer, after mo mag-draw ng cross, okay, magko-cross ka pa din. No? Okay. Believer ka ba, Melody? Believer? As in Justin Bieber fan? Yeah? Okay. All right. Okay. Well done. Sige. So, gagawin nyo po ganito. So, drawing ka ng cross. Tapos, ilagay mo dito sa main, sa tuktok, no? Yung main topic mo. So, gift. So, gift. Okay. Gift na. Okay, gift. All right. Child. Okay, child gift. Okay. Kasi, possible kasi yan na kunin ng examiner, no? Yung iyong task card. Okay, so that could still be a possibility. So at least, kung kunin man niya, alam mo yung main topic. So gift ng child. Okay. Now, tapos gagawin mo, ilagay mo yung questions. Okay, pero keywords lang. Okay, so bullet 1 here. Okay, so what the gift was. So kay keyword lang, no? What? Ayan. Tapos who gave it to you. So ito yung who. Tapos when, no? When did you receive it? I think when. And how did you feel? Okay, so how feel. Okay, so keywords lang, no? 1 minute lang yan, no? So hindi mo pwedeng copyhin talaga yan as is. Okay, tapos after that, sagutan mo, syempre. Okay, sige nga, can you give me, give me an example. Ano bang gift pwede nating ilagay dyan? Gift that you received when you were a child. When you were a child. Okay, a Batman, a kitchen set. Okay, a Barbie doll. Okay. Thank you. Bracelet, yan. So, pwede yan, no? Wristwatch. Okay, dollhouse. Okay, necklace. Wow. Okay, remote control. Okay, thank you, Spidey. Sige, let's just choose one. Okay, let's just say Barbie doll. Okay, so doll. All right. Okay. Now, who gave it to you? Okay, pumili lang ako ng isa, from the choices, from your suggestions. Who gave it to you? Sino kaya nagbigay sa iyo nito? Okay, your mom, your parents maybe. Okay, let's say your parents mo na lang. Okay, parents. Okay. Both of them. When did you receive it? Kailan mo kaya siya na-receive? Birthday. Yeah, I think birthday would be the most perfect. I like the most relevant answer here, no? Okay, kasi it's a gift anyway. 7th birthday, yes, I would love 7th. Kasi di ba, it's a tradition in the Philippines, no? Na kapag 7th birthday, there would be a grand celebration. Okay. Okay, tapos how did you feel? How did you feel when you received the gift? Okay, so you felt happy? Okay, and you felt excited. Okay, thank you. Okay, so mag-draw lang ako ng smiley. Okay, over the moon. Okay, thank you. Very good. Okay, so nasagot ko na ba yung mga keywords? Yes? Nasagot ko na yung bullets? Okay, so sabi ng examiner, okay, can you begin speaking now, please? Okay. All right. Sabi mo, okay, so start ka na. The gift that I received when I was a child was a Barbie doll. My parents gave it to me during my 7th birthday, and I felt happy about the gift. Okay. Is that a good response? Yes or no? Okay, no. It was too short. It was too short. Okay? So, masasagot mo naman lahat ng keywords eh. That is true. Okay, pero ang test po talaga, no, pagdating sa part 2 is how you expound your answers. Okay? So, paano ba mag-expound, sir? Okay, ito yung tuturo ko sa iyo ngayon. Mag-expound ka, okay, by answering the W question sa mga what, who, why, when, nga, punta tayo sa bullet na what the gift was. So sabi mo it was a doll. Okay, how else can we describe the doll? Sige nga, ano bang pwedeng description natin sa doll na yan? Siguro sabihin natin it was a Barbie doll. Gano'n to kalaki? Itong Barbie doll na ito. Anong height ni ate? Siguro mga, I don't know, 1 meter? Gano'n ba ka taas ng mga Barbie dolls? Life size, my goodness. 7 inches? 7 inches Barbie doll. I don't think that's the doll that you're talking about. 12 inches ruler. Yeah, I think parang mga 12 inches nata ang ano. Okay, sige. Okay, hindi lang ako familiar. Pero sige, 12 inches in height. Okay, anong color ng hair? Ayan. So, sabihin natin, red hair siya. Red hair, kasi itong Barbie doll na ito, actually, no, this was inspired by The Little Mermaid. Okay, so parang ito yung Ariel edition. O, di ba? May pag-ganun si Sir. Ariel edition ng Barbie doll. Okay, so mermaid ito. Mermaid the doll. Okay, from The Little Mermaid. All right, clear ba? Okay. So ayan, no? Tapos anong eyes niya? Green ang eyes niya. Ayan. So yeah, magdadagdag ka lang ng mga description diyan. Okay, so who gave it to you? Sabi mo your parents. Now, my question is why? Bakit kaya niya binigay ito ng parents mo? Pwede mo bang idagdag yan? Pwede. Bakit kaya ito yung napili nila? Okay, as a reward, thank you, wish, pwede din. Or maybe, pumunta kayo ng mall, no? Nag-mall po kayo 2 weeks before your birthday, no? Tapos habang nasa mall kayo, may nakita kang bata, no? Na may hawak na Barbie doll na Ariel edition. Little Mermaid edition. And nabanggit mo sa parents mo na parang gusto mo rin nun. Okay, but they didn't mind you. They didn't give you any attention. Okay? And nalungkot ka nung time na yun. May mga ganang kwento. Opo, kailangan makwento ka dito, sir. Okay? Clear po ba? Kailangan may mga background yung mga kwento mo. Okay po? Nakaka-follow pa? Okay. Now, kailan binigay yung gift? Okay, sabi mo during your 7th birthday. Okay, kailan ba yung birthday mo? Okay, so sabihin na lang natin, ano yan, nung mga, ang birthday mo summer, pasukan pala. Kasi invited yung mga classmates mo. Ayan. So, invited yung mga classmates mo, nagpa-birthday sa bahay. House birthday yan, no? Sa bahay. Okay. Tapos, may mga handaan, may cake, ganyan. Okay. Tapos, kailan siya binigay? Siguro, pwedeng sabihin mo, binigay yung gift after you blew the candle. Yeah? Okay. So after the candle blowing, tsaka binigay yung gift, hinand over. And na-surprise ka talaga kasi you thought yung birthday is the gift itself, no? And yet, meron pa palang surprise for you. Okay. So, ayan. So, syempre, magkikwento ka na naman dyan, madam. Diba? So, kung sasabihin mo, sir, hindi kaya yung 2 minutes. Nako, kulang ang 2 minutes. Sa totoo lang, kung marunong ka mag-expound. Okay, how did you feel? Ayan, sabi mo you felt happy. So, ano pa? Mag-describe ka pa. Dagdagan mo yan. You felt happy, excited. How did your parents feel? Anong nakita mo sa kanila? Your parents cried, no? Yung mga friends mo, no? They felt happy for you. In fact, the next day, no? Siguro nung pumasok ka sa school, no? Dinala mo yung doll na yon sa school. Okay, and everybody was so happy for you and they wanted to borrow the doll from you. Ikaw ang bida. And they elected you class president. Tare. Okay, 'di ba? Naging class president ka just because of the doll. Okay, pero wag mo siguro sabihin niyo. Okay, pero pwede naman. Okay, now ganito po 'yan. Nakaka-follow pa. Okay. Yan, no? So, ganito po yan. Pag nag-start ka ng part 1, para siyang task 2, don't start readily with the answer. Okay? Wag mo sabihin na, okay, sabi ng examiner, okay, you may begin speaking now, please. Sabi mo, the gift I received when I was a child was a Barbie doll. Okay, wag ganon. Okay, gagawin mo, mag-introduction ka. Okay, parang short introduction, mga 1 to 2 sentences. Ano pong introduction, sir? Parang i-generalize mo muna siya ng slight. Okay? Parang, nagets ba? Pwede mo sabihin something like, okay, sabi ng examiner, okay, you may begin speaking now, please. When I was a child, I received a lot of gifts, mostly from my friends and some from my family members. And of all the gifts that I received as a child, there is this one gift that I just can't forget. And this was the gift that I received during a special occasion in the past. Okay, nagets mo? Nagets mo how I tried to start my part 2? Okay, parang kakain lang din siya ng konting time, pero related pa rin naman siya, no? Doon sa topic mo. Okay, short introduction lang. General introduction. Parang i-generalize mo lang muna siya. And then go to the specifics. Okay, clear po ba? Yeah. Okay. Short lang, ha? Kasi may mga ibang estudyante guilty of prolonging, no, itong introduction nila. Okay. Sa mga meron ako narinig before, parang ganitong introduction niya. Sabi niya, well, the gift that I received when I was a child was something that I would say is very memorable. I have received several gifts when I was a child. And I think gift giving is very important. And it is also significant that childhood is something that is positive. Nowadays, there are many children who are suffering from hunger and poverty. And I'm so lucky that my childhood years were filled with happiness and gifts. And that is why when Adam and Eve bit the apple from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, it all started the wickedness of man. Aba, Diyos ko, grabe naman yung introduction niya. Alam mo yun, talagang Genesis. Di ba? Di ba? Kailan pa tayo mapupunta dun sa gift mo, te? Di ba? Ang daming libro niyan. Mag-Deuteronomy ka pa, Leviticus pa, Exodus. My goodness. Okay. So, alam mo yun, masyadong mahaba yung intro. Okay. So, para sa estudyante na to, parang easy, 2 minutes. Diyos ko, give me 2 days. Sabi niya gano'n. 2 days. Kaya, 2 days. Di ba? Okay. Short intro lang. Okay. 1 to 2 cents. Parang something general lang, no? Tapos dahil nga meron ka ng outline, sundan mo na lang yung outline mo, no? So syempre, sa'yo na po nakasalala yan. Kung paano mo i-construct yung sentences mo, at least this way, hindi mauulat yung information. Okay, kasi organized na siya. Okay? So after mo dito, okay, let's say tapos ka na, anong gagawin mo? Summary. Okay? Paano ka magsa-summarize? Pwede mo sabihin thus, therefore, hence. Okay, usually yun po yung mga expression natin, no? To summarize our answer in speaking. Kasi pag writing, in conclusion. Pero pag sinabi mo in conclusion sa speaking, it's too formal. Do you follow? Okay, so sa speaking, when you conclude, pwede mo sabihin, therefore, thus, hence. Okay, yon. Okay? Clear po ba? Are we clear? All right. Okay, so anong gagawin mo, sir? Ibabalik mo siya sa topic. Okay, ibalik mo siya sa topics. Pwede mo sabihin na, thus, this was the gift that I received when I was a child. And then, pwede mo gawin, kung let's say may time ka pa, project the topic into the future. Okay? Ayan. Okay. Pang-ending na yan, yung future. Anong gusto mong gawin? Parang in the future, pwede mong gawin pag gusto mo ding maging aerial. Sorry. I'm just kidding. In the future, kung magkaanak ka, gusto mo din bigyan, no? Ng ganitong klaseng doll. Di ba? Okay. Okay, clear ba? Okay, so parang gano'n lang, na parang pahapyaw lang na. Parang in the future, ano bang maano mo? Okay, yes. Mermaid. Okay, clear? Okay, so ito sige, ito-try ko po itong sagutin. Okay, again, marami pong possible answers for this, but I'll just work with what we have written. Okay, are you ready to listen? Okay, ito impromptu to, Impromptu. Okay, actually medyo pagod na ako kasi 5 hours ako nagsasalita kanina. Okay, but I'm really trying my best right now for you to understand, no? The part 2 of the speaking test. Okay, kasi the more students understand part 2, the less of a problem we coaches have, no? Pagdating sa okay? All right. Ready? Are we ready to listen to me? Okay, so I'll just use our scratch paper here. Okay, all right. So sabi ng examiner, okay. Okay, so remember you have up to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. Can you begin speaking now, please? When I was a child, I would say that I had a very happy childhood, and I, in fact, received a lot of gifts during my childhood days, mostly from my friends and some from my family members. And of all the gifts that I received, one thing that I couldn't forget was the gift that I received during my 7th birthday. It was the Barbie doll. And this doll, in fact, was very unique in the sense that this doll was the Little Mermaid edition of the doll. I remember it was very pricey at that time. And the doll, I think, was about 12 inches tall. It had red hair, similar to Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and it had green eyes, and it had a very beautiful dress. And I think it was of the blue shade. My parents, in fact, gave this doll to me, and I was really surprised when they gave it to me on my birthday. I actually remember why they gave it to me because I believe 2 weeks before my actual birthday, we went to the mall, my parents and I. And I remember I mentioned something about the doll because we were eating at this restaurant and I saw this child, I remember vividly, who had this doll on his bag, on her bag. And I told my parents that I would also want the same doll, but they didn't mind me. And I think that time I threw some temper tantrums, as a child. And I almost cried, I think, at that night. And to my surprise, on my seventh birthday, I celebrate my birthday in June. Usually, that's the start of the classes here in the Philippines. They gave this gift to me. And I remember it was a very memorable birthday because the seventh birthday of a child actually in the Philippines is usually celebrated with a bang. It's a grand celebration, and it's a remember when I was celebrating my birthday, I invited my classmates, my neighbors as well, and some of my cousins and other relatives from different places. There was a large cake, there were tables and chairs, and I remember they also rented a clown to entertain. And after I blew the candle of the cake, my mom handed this box to me. I was in shock. Day itself was the gift already, and therefore I was really over the moon when they gave this gift to me. So I opened it hurriedly, and to my surprise, although I wasn't really surprised, but it was a mixed emotions. I got this doll. I felt so happy. In fact, my parents cried, and I also cried as well. And my friends who attended the birthday also felt so happy about me. In fact, the day after my birthday, I brought with me the doll to the school, and I think I was the talk of the class just because of that. And so this gift is something that I would always and forever cherish in my life. I have, I think, already lost the gift because I've moved to different places. But in the future, if ever I have my own child, I would make it a point that that child will also have a very happy childhood, and I will give that person, that child of mine, a gift too. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Parang 5 minutes yata yon. Okay. Was it 5 minutes? Okay. I think that was too long. Was it too long? Was it? Okay. But did you follow? Were you able to follow my train of thought? Or parang may nagsasaing na dyan? Okay. Um, something that I'd like to emphasize in part two. Take your time. Okay? Take your time. Ang dami po na ako na-experience na. Pagdating sa part 2, minamadali nila yung response nila. Okay? And notice how I delivered my answer. I really want you to listen to me. I really want my message to come across. So sometimes I pause, sometimes I breathe, sometimes I slow down, sometimes I go fast and excited. Do you follow? Okay. So take your time. Your exam in a hurry. Okay. Um, organize your thoughts. Okay. Sige, let's try another one. Okay, we're almost finished. Okay. Talk about an activity that you like doing during your free time. Okay, so again, what do? We draw across here. Okay, so activity. Okay. Okay, someone asked, pag hindi nasagot yung ibang bullet points, kasi tapos na yung time, no problem. Di ba? I told you, yung bullet points, you don't, I think I mentioned this, you don't need to answer them all. Tama po ba? Basta yung sagot mo is related to the topic, you're good to go. Maubos mo yung 2 minutes, you're good to go. Again, suggestions lang po yung bullet points. Okay. Pero kung let's say, marami ka talagang sinabi, no? Malaman yung sinabi mo, you take your time in speaking. So, wala pong kaso yan. Okay? Hindi po yan minus. Okay, so what is the activity where you do it? Ano ba? Next, what clothes? Okay, so clothes, no? Equipment or equipment. And why you like it? Okay, all right. Why? Why you like it? Okay, so ano bang activity that we do during our free time? Okay, so watching Netflix. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's a good answer. Activity that you like to do during your free time. Ano pa? Hibernating. Wow. Okay. Okay. Are you a polar bear? Okay, going to the gym. All right. Yeah, I love to go to the gym. I'm a very physical person, in fact. I love sports. Maybe reading a book, shopping. Yeah, I think shopping is good also. Okay. Eating. Okay. All right. Okay, so again, let's just choose one. Okay. And activity that you like to do during your free time. Okay. Traveling. Yeah, I think that is also good, no? Whenever you have free time, no? You would travel. Okay. Okay, let me try to personalize this answer, no? So, ako kasi, what I do when I have free time, I play mobile games. I'm just kidding. I surf. Okay, yeah, I'm a surfer. Okay, surfing. Okay, this is my answer, huh? Okay. So, yeah, no? So, sorry. Dito pala dapat yan. Surfing. Ayan. So, I surf. Where do I surf? I actually surf in Baler. Meron po ba dito taga Baler? Okay. Clothes. What clothes? Board short lang po yan. Okay. Board shorts and the surfboard. Okay. Ako basta may free time ako, I go surfing. Okay. Ang lapit lang ng Baler sa akin. I'm just kidding. Nasa Quezon City ako. Surfboard. Okay. Surfboard. Okay. Why do you like surfing? Well, it is exciting. Okay. It is exciting. And it is it's a different feeling when it's an inexplicable feeling when I am riding the waves. Yeah, no? Okay, riding the waves. Okay. So ulitin ko, no? So gagawin nyo lang po relaxing. Yeah, well, going to the beach is relaxing. But surfing for me is more of thrilling, no? Yeah, I guess it hits different. Okay. Anyway, um, so again, short introduction. Okay, so generalize this. Tama po ba? Okay, konting general statement, and then you go to the what, explain surfing. Maybe if you could provide a bit of background, perhaps, about it. Okay, yan, no? Where? Okay, so sabi ko nga sa Baler, no? So ano pa bang pwedeng places na pwedeng pag-surfingan? Halimbawa na pwede ko maidagdag, ilagay ko dyan, pwede ko din i-describe yung place itself. Okay, so clothes, no? So board shorts, surfboard. Isa pong way din, no? Para mapahaba mo, no? Yung part 2 mo is pwede ka magbigay ng example. Or sorry, experience pala. Experience. No, ano ibig sabihin experience? Kumbaga parang sabi mo lang, oh, the last time I surfed, gano'n. The last time I went to the gym. The last time I shopped was gano'n. Tapos i-share mo lang what happened. Clear? Okay, medyo marami ka na ding masasabi pag gano'n. Okay? Tapos why you like it. So ayan, no? So gagawin mo after that, balik ka na naman sa main topic mo. Okay, and then project mo siya into the future. Okay, nagets po ba yung flow ng ating part 2? Nagets po ba? Yes. Okay, thank you. Sige, listen to me. Okay, I'll try to answer this tonight. Okay, kasi mag-11 na pala, no? In the Philippines. Okay. Okay. Okay, sabi ng exam. Okay, so you begin speaking now, please. Sabi with a British accent. Okay. Honestly, I rarely have free time. And whenever I do have free time, I always try to make my free time as productive as possible. And I do a lot of activities whenever I have leisure, whenever I have spare time. And I think one of the activities I'd like to focus on today is the activity that I really love doing for the last 10 years, and it's surfing. Surfing is a water sport. Some people consider it an extreme sport, and it requires a lot of skills. Most importantly, balancing skills. And I think surfing is relatively new in the Philippines. I think it only has become popular in the last decade. Unlike in other countries like Australia, or Japan, or the US, where surfing has been a prominent activity for most people. Now, I usually surf in Baler. I think I remember the first time I went there was a Holy Week. My friends and I had nowhere to go to, and we were on vacation because it was Holy Week, so we didn't have work, and we decided to go to Baler. And we didn't actually expect that surfing was actually one of the activities that they offer in that place. So it was a 5-hour drive, but since it was Holy Week, I think it took us about double that travel time to go to Baler. I live in Quezon City, so it is maybe around 100 and approximately 140 kilometers away from the city. And Baler has been my surfing spot for the last 10 years, I believe. Although I've been to other surfing spots in the Philippines as well, like La Union, I still find Baler as the most accommodating place. The beach is just perfect, and the waves are really accommodating, not only for new surfers, but also for professionals. Now, this activity requires very minimal equipment. Basically, I just need to just wear my board shorts and rash guard if I don't want to get rash from the board, because usually when when surfers surf, they would lie on the board and that would give them some rash on their chest. So wearing a rash guard would help prevent that. And of course, the surfboard. Now, in surfing, there are two types of surfboards. There is a long board and a short board. Short board would approximately be around 4 feet to 6 feet, and the longboard is usually around 8 feet to 9 feet. And there's in the medium, I think they call it the fun board. Okay, it's like a transition between the short board and the long board. Well, personally, I use the long board. I think it's easier to balance. And although I've tried before the short board, but I don't think it is really for me. And I love this sport because it just gives me thrill. I mean, I love sports in general. I play table tennis, I play badminton, I sometimes go hiking, spelunking, mountaineering. But surfing is just an activity that no other activity uh, can replace. Uh, Whenever I ride the waves, it gives me this feeling of being on cloud nine and, just trying over and over again to catch the waves. I think one of the most important things that a surfer needs to learn is when to catch the wave. Not all waves should be caught by the surfers, and it comes with experience. So this activity, surfing, is the activity that I like to do during my free time. I remembered a month ago I was able to get free time from work, so I was able to go there, and I really enjoyed it with my friends. And hopefully in the future, if I have more time, actually, I think next week would be Holy Week. I would love to go back there and surf once more. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So were you able to follow my train of thought? Okay. So basically yung ano lang naman, no? Don't copy my answer, ha? Kasi different people have different ways of thinking, no? Ang gusto ko pong matutunan nyo dito is paano ka magsa-start, ano yung next mo, paano mo siya, okay, kasi you will have a different answer. It could be shopping, it could be watching Netflix, no? So sa'yo po nakasalalay kung paano mo siya, o kung ano sasabihin mo. Okay, but basically I have given you the structure on how you can elaborate your answer. Okay? Now, marami pong topics sa part 2, as I mentioned. Okay, describe an invention. Okay, so probably pwede mo sagot dyan, cellphone. Describe a big public event that you have attended. Ayan. May umattend ba dito ng mga political campaigns? Ayan, so pwede po yan. Okay, describe a film you would like to see in the future. Ayan, so pwede din, no? Ako, I'm looking forward to watching, Marvel. Yung Doctor Strange. Yeah, I'm a Marvel fan. Recently, I've been watching yung Moon Knight, no? Okay. I used to be a Game of Thrones fan, by the way. Anyway, I love watching series. Okay, so future. Ano pa ba? Describe a film, a movie actor from your country who is very popular. Naku, sino bang type mo dyan? So again, isa lang yan, ha? Describe an event that you attended. So pag ganito, past tense ka dapat dyan, no? Okay? So you have to be careful with the tense, no? An event that you attended. So any event, pwedeng birthday. Describe an occasion when someone visited your home. Okay, so again, kailangan mabilis ka mag-isip, no? Kung hindi ka mabilis mag-isip, mag-invento ka na lang. Wala namang kaso yan. Okay, describe an interesting conversation you had recently. Interesting conversation. Okay, so maybe when you were talking to your ex, ex talaga, nakikipagbalikan siya sa'yo. Okay, you know what they say, a cheater is always a cheater. Okay, all right. Pero matututo ka rin, di ba? Soon enough, no? Pagsagad ka na. Okay? Pag talagang naubos mo na yung meron. Okay? Na natitira sa'yo. Describe a colorful event. Ayan. Okay. Baka nagbenga festival ka, hindi mo sinasabi. Okay, baka umatan ka ng gay pride. Rainbow. Diba? Okay, colorful event. Okay, describe an important letter that you receive. Important letter. Ano ba? Okay, siguro yung loan mo, no? Delayed. Late na. Diyos ko, patong-patong interest na. Ang hirap mag-loan sa bangko, mga ate kuya. Okay? Okay. Very unforgiving yung mga yan. Okay. Pero possible letter. Okay. Ano pa ba? Describe your favorite restaurant. Ayan. Okay. So, pwede rin yan, no? So, actually, ang dami po nito. Alam niyo po, sobrang dami. Pero kailangan dito mabilis ka mag-isip. Kailangan din, kasi nga, 1 minute ng preparation time. Marunong ka mag-invento in a way. And you can deal with this issue naman, no? Kapag i-familiarize mo lang yung sarili mo sa mga possible task cards na ibibigay. Okay? So anyway, okay. Ay, wala na palang video. So last tips na tayo, no? Kasi mag-11 na pala. Okay, number 1, prepare. Okay? So preparation po is very important. Okay? Research. Okay? Look for possible task cards. No? Try to answer them. And para at least alam mo na ito yung sasagot ko kapag ito yung tinanong sa akin. You don't need to memorize, as I said. Okay? Importante lang yung you know what to expect. Okay? And of course, practice. Okay? Pwede ka mag-practice on your own para mag-gauge mo kung 2 minutes na. Alam mo yun? Pero syempre, importante pa may nakikinig sa'yo to let you know kung tama ba pronunciation mo, tama ba grammar mo, okay, or relevant pa rin based na sabi mo. So, importante po yan. Okay? And perfect. No? So, of course, during your practice, you will make errors, you will make mistakes. Learn from them. Okay? Kung first timer ka, walang pong kaso magkamali. Okay lang, keep on making mistakes, but learn from them and try not to make the same mistakes twice. Okay? Until, eventually na parang nasasanay ka na talaga and alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Okay? Whatever task card is given to you. Okay? Ayan, thank you po. That is the end of our class. Hopefully, this lecture has shed some light, no? With regard to the part 2 of your speech. Okay, thank you. Sir Jeffrey?
Yes, Sir Jeff also. Do you have any, I might have question just only for the members. Do you have any programs in Niner and how did they contact you? Do you have promotions you can promote?
Okay. Actually, I'm not very active, no, with regard to
Okay.
sa mga enrollment sa Niner.
Okay.
But I think what I can say is you can check the website. Yung Facebook page po ng Niner on how to enroll. I think the best benefit you can get from that is you can get to have unlimited one-on-one coaching sessions. No? And with that, you can practice every day.
Oh, wow. Okay, guys. So if you have question about the service, just go to 9.09 our Facebook official page, then send them direct message. Thank you so much, Sir Jeff, and to Sir Erwin, and to everyone who's watching. And I hope you learned for sure. And actually, it was fun listening to you. Nakakatawa. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good.
Okay,
Thank you
good
po,
night,
everyone. Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.